From the Sky News Centre at 4, singer Shane MacGowan has died at the age of 65. The Pogues frontman was discharged from hospital last week after months receiving treatment for a serious infection. He's best known for the Christmas hit Fairy Tale of New York. Former editor of Mojo magazine, Matt Snow, says that's appropriate.
He was a great believer in folk songs, that is to say, songs sung by folks, sung by people. You know, what greater testament can there be to a singer, a performer, a writer like Shane, that his song has become an absolute classic.
His wife's called him the love of her life. Gordon Brown's paying tribute to his former Chancellor, Alistair Darling, who's died at the age of 70.
In times of crisis, Alistair was the person you would want in the room because he was calm, he was considered, he had great wisdom, he had a strong sense of what was right and wrong, he had great integrity, he was a person you could rely and depend upon.
He was in charge of the Treasury during the financial crisis of 2008. The Prime Minister's remembered him as a dedicated public servant who served this country through challenging times. A mother's been found guilty, along with her partner, of murdering her 18-month-old son. Alfie Phillips died after a night of beating at his home in Kent in 2020, where he suffered 70 injuries. There's some good news for long-suffering rail commuters. RMT members have agreed a pay deal to end their row with train operators, although drivers with ASLEF are staging fresh industrial action from tomorrow. Singer Jamie Lynn Spears says she'll be spending time with her family after quitting I'm a Celebrity. Britney's sister left the show on medical grounds, becoming the second person to do so this week. And eating a banana for dinner could be the key to getting a good night's kip. The Sleep Charity says the fruit can help you drift off due to their high levels of magnesium and potassium. That's the latest. I'm Anna Bates.
TRE, your voice in Spain.
The Spanish news is brought to you by Línea Directa. Change to Línea Directa and get 2 months free car insurance.
Good afternoon. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said this morning that, given the number of casualties among civilians in Gaza, he doubts Israel is respecting the international humanitarian law. As he repeated, military action in the Strip is not acceptable. Last week, similar comments by Sanchez and his Belgian counterpart Alexander De Croo at the Egyptian-controlled Rafah crossing angered Israel. His foreign minister said the remarks repeated false claims and gave terrorism a boost, and then summoned the ambassadors of both countries. Sanchez said in a TV interview last night, "What we are seeing in Gaza is not acceptable." Despite the diplomatic spat, Sanchez, who is pushing for a peace conference, said the relationship between Israel and Spain was correct, and friendly countries also have to say things to each other. He insisted that European countries discuss the recognition of a Palestinian state. Meanwhile, last night, demonstrators in cities across Spain marched through the streets to express their solidarity with the Palestinian people. At the demonstration in Madrid Central Square, lawmaker Ion Valera urged for a conclusion to the genocide and to get those responsible for this barbarity to the International Criminal Court. The demonstration in the capital was arranged on the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. In various cities, such as Barcelona, Oviedo and Valladolid, protesters took to the streets calling for a lasting ceasefire just before the expiration of the humanitarian pause between Israel and Hamas. Google's new security hub, dubbed the Centre of Excellence, was opened in Malaga City yesterday. The Google Safety Engineering Centre is part of a network of 3 engineering hubs dedicated to improving internet security and privacy that the American company has in the world. All 3 are in Europe, that's Munich, Dublin, and now Malaga. Google's Global President of International Affairs, Kent Walker, said the site in Malaga City will be a key global hub for our cyber defense strategy. The Malaga hub will function as an analysis centre where Google will better understand threats and protect customers. And Pedro Sanchez and King Felipe and other politicians inaugurated the new high-speed rail line connecting Madrid to Asturias yesterday. Construction of the line began in 2004 with the aim of being finished by 2010. However, the geological complexity of the area severely delayed the project and pushed the cost up to around €4 billion. The inaugural journey to Oviedo took 3 hours and 10 minutes compared to 4 hours and 24 minutes on the old tracks. Once the government procures new trains in the spring, the trains will be able to reach 275 kilometres an hour, cutting the journey time to 2 hours and 42 minutes. Sanchez thanked the around 5,000 professionals who worked on the project, which he said was one of the most complex engineering feats in Europe. Now at more than 4,000 kilometres, Spain has the second longest high-speed rail network in the world, after China. That's the latest from TRE. I'm Bob James.
Ask for a competitive quote today on 919 181 130. That's 919 181 130. Best price, better cover. Terms and conditions apply.
Saving on your insurance is easy with Linea Directa.
Easy? How easy?
Well, it's like riding a bike.
Oh, you mean like falling off a log?
Piece of cake.
Ah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Talking of which, have you got any of that cheesecake left? Switch and save on your insurance with Linea Directa. Maybe that's why 9 out of 10 satisfied customers recommend us. Call 919 181 130. That's 919 181 130 and get the best price for car, bike and home insurance. Conditions apply.
It's Good News Week. Someone's fallen out somewhere. Idle gossip everywhere. But we don't care. It's Good News Week. There's a Euro Weekly everywhere, full of good news for you to share. Someone's found a way to give a happy life we do live. It's Good News Week. Have you heard the news? Euro Weekly's everywhere. Pick up the Euro Weekly and put a smile on your face. Every Thursday. It's Good News Week.
Expats in Spain provide you with all you need to know when living, working, retiring, and having the best life you can here in Spain. Join the Expats in Spain Facebook page with over 150,000 other expat members, all there to support you in your new life, whether you're living a life of leisure or starting a new business. Check out our website expatsinspain.eu for recommended companies to do business with or to read our free online monthly magazine. expatsinspain.eu, your one-stop resource for all your expat needs.
TRE.
TRE in the afternoon. Presented by Hannah Murray.
Good afternoon. It's just gone 5:05. You are now listening to Women Talk. With me in the studio today, Katie Rowland, Sheila Mellor and Debbie Bennett. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you all for coming in. If you're listening at home and you want to get involved, you absolutely can. Here's how you do it.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95.
What a beautiful day, it's a wonderful life.
I love it when we all dance to the theme tune.
Well, Dufton.
Yeah. Right, so we're starting off by talking about both food and Christmas, which I thought was the perfect place to start. I thought this was very bizarre when I read this. 6 out of 10 of us would rather have a takeaway than a traditional Christmas dinner, say researchers. Of those, 1 in 5 would opt for a Chinese, closely followed by an Indian or fish and chips. But 41% are still passionate about a traditional meal. We'll go to the traditional meal bit in a moment. But have you ever had a takeaway for Christmas lunch?
Never.
No way. No.
I'd love to know the source of that research.
Well, Mecca Bingo.
I was going to say the researcher did all the research in McDonald's or something.
Well, there you go, Mecca Bingo.
They probably only interviewed 10 people. That's why it's 6 out of 10, maybe.
I know, exactly. It's
still
weird,
6 out of 10's a lot.
It is, isn't it? I thought it was really strange.
I thought it was really kind of adventurous when I did alternative. I had fish instead of turkey.
Well, I was going to say, have you ever had any kind of Christmas lunch or dinner that goes away completely from a traditional Christmas? So you had fish?
Yeah, I had a period in my life when we used to go to the Lake District and just walk in the hills and then just come back and have a fish. So trying to get away from all the kind of...
so not even the trimmings or anything?
No,
so just
no tree,
no
presents, no.
Oh, nice.
My poor son is still suffering.
So do you look back on that fond memories?
Yeah, I do.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Debbie, have you ever strayed from tradition?
No, it's turkey. Well, generally turkey, or on occasion we've had goose.
Okay.
But that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't think of one time without having, normal.
I can hear Katie's brain ticking over.
No, we've never strayed away from the tradition either.
No.
I don't know why you would, apart from I'm not a massive fan of turkey. Okay. I would prefer a different kind of meat if I could choose.
We've done vegan Christmases quite a few times. My mum was vegan, so we had nut roast, and I love a nut roast. Sometimes on menu options, sometimes and I'm not a vegan or vegetarian, but sometimes I opt for the nut not nut roast, just because I really love it.
It's like a tongue twister, that. They're not nut roast. No.
But one year we did stray, and we went to it was my parents and my ex-boyfriend and his parents and family, sisters and everything, all came to Spain. Hadn't been living here that long, so it was about 17, 18 years ago, something like that. And we went to our favourite chiringuito, for want of a better word, a restaurant on the beach in Marbella. And we had all the normal things that we would have. We had the pil, we had fried calamari, you know, we had all the traditional, because they didn't change their menu at all. And it was lovely. It was really nice. It was, you know, we still had the Christmas tree at home and did the presents and everything, but we went out for a traditional Christmas lunch on the beach. It was really nice. Something a bit different.
Yeah.
But yes, we can't imagine a takeaway. No. So going back to the traditional meal, what would be your favourite kind of thing that you couldn't live without? The people here in this survey say roast potatoes are the most important component.
Roast parsnip.
Parsnips, carrots, and sprouts.
You seem to be naming 3 there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but I can't.
It's difficult to choose. And all the veggies.
Yeah, veggies.
I think crackling's my favourite.
Oh,
I used to work in a restaurant, and they would cook a whole sheet of crackling, and I used to spend most of my shift in the kitchen eating all of the crackling, which is meant for the customers. Yes.
They didn't work there long, I'm guessing.
No, I quite enjoyed working there. They didn't quite mind me doing that.
Oh, nice.
And now when I go out to restaurants, I want the beef, but I would like the crackling as well. So I try and ask the
someone else
waiters. I say, can you give me some beef, but can I have a little bit of crackling as well? It doesn't always work. They say, no, we don't have enough to go around this time.
Fair enough.
And then I think back to my past when I was 16 and I was allowed unlimited crackling.
Oh, love it. So what would yours be, Sheila? What's your most important bit?
Roasted parsnips.
Sorry, you said parsnips. Yeah, I love parsnips, and potato. I do like a roast potato. Done well, roast potato.
I can miss the potatoes.
Really?
Yeah, I would rather have a parsnip than a potato, if that's what it came down to.
Parsnips can sometimes go wrong.
Go wrong?
Well,
How?
I don't know. It depends who's cooked it and everything. Sometimes you can, with both the parsnips and the carrots, sometimes if you cut them too small, then when they cook, they end up being mostly kind of charred and there's not much left of the vegetable. Do you know what I mean?
I like that.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
It's crackling bird over here. Of course you would.
Crackling and burnt veg.
It's a bit like overcooking bacon. Like medium cooked bacon and overcooked bacon is equally as nice, I think. I think the only way you can go wrong with a parsnip is if you undercook it.
Oh yes, no, that's not good, is it? No, definitely. I love how different we are. It's great. Okay, there's a piece here on worst Christmas present ever. This is a great one that comes up. An out of date voucher. I mean, who would give some of the things they're talking about here, so number one, an expired voucher. Well, who in their right mind would go, this is expired, or because surely they're going to open it and go, well, it's just the worst thing ever. Followed by a dead plant. Again, why would you give someone a dead plant?
Depends who it is, of course.
Well, yeah. And then out-of-date chocolates. Again, I mean, out-of-date anything. Why would you do that? So come on, can you think of any really bad? I mean, number 4 on the list is toilet roll. I mean, that is a horrendous present. Why would you get someone toilet roll? Let's go through some of these.
Practical.
Practical, yes, but I mean, you're not going to go, oh wow, thanks, how did you know?
Actually, I
visited your bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Running low, love. I thought I'd wrap some up for Christmas.
One of the weirdest things I had for Christmas, this was life before Peter. So I was with my previous partner, and he had been made redundant, so we were a little bit brassic, and his...
I have to justify it by that.
Yeah, I'll give you the backstory. And I was talking to Peter about this the other day, and he said, and his parents bought us half cider lamb, which was all chopped up, and so we could keep it in the freezer. What did you want for Christmas? Half a cider lamb.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh dear.
I think she was like, I'll make use of that. Feed need the 4,000 for a week.
I think the strangest gift I got was when I was about 12, and I think I got sponsorship for a goat in Africa.
I like that. I like things like that.
Yeah.
I think I would have appreciated it, but because I was about 12, it didn't really bother me.
A computer game slightly more.
Yes, I don't think I was empathetic enough to care about sponsorships for the goat in Africa.
Oh, she's heartless, isn't she? Absolutely. I said that.
Crackling and pink goat. Yeah. So this is something I thought, oh no. So apparently a really bad gift is something free from work. And I kind of thought, it depends what it is, because we're
I don't want this chair. Can I
No, I wouldn't do that. No, but we're very lucky here. We get a lot of books given to us by authors that we interview. So, some of them we take home and read, obviously. A lot end up going to charity when there's charity auctions and things like that. I like putting little bundles of books together. But sometimes a book comes about and I think, this will make a perfect gift for whoever. So, yeah, I have given books as presents before.
You're looking at us, have we?
But I do always say, this was someone I interviewed. I don't want them to think this cost me loads of money. I do say, this was someone I interviewed. I thought you'd really like the book. So
I think
it doesn't matter, does it?
I think a book's a really nice gift, especially in Spain when we can't really get our hands on English written books that easily.
Yeah, exactly.
And last Christmas I wrote a book and I put it on Amazon. It was a puzzle book, and I gave that out as a Christmas gift to my friends and family.
Oh, nice. Good for you. You did a puzzle book.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. What kind of puzzles?
They were pyramids, and you have to use Sudoku-like skills to get to the top number in the pyramid, and I'm going to be selling them again in a Christmas fair this weekend, so it's quite exciting.
She teaches maths.
Yeah, that's true. My dad is a puzzle compiler.
Really?
That's what he does for a living, and has done for the last 30 odd years. And I've never met anyone else who does puzzles, so this is truly an amazing experience.
I feel like I need to chat with your dad to get some inspiration.
Yeah.
I've only done one book and I made it all in Excel.
A book.
and it'd be really great to speak to him. So thank you for sharing that info.
That's really cool.
How did it go? Did you?
Yes, I've sold quite a few in person, but when I've tried to sell them in the local shops, they've not gone down as well. So I think if my face is attached to them, I sell them better. So fingers crossed for Saturday, I'll do okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, brilliant.
Bit like us with the calendars.
Yeah, exactly. It's true, actually. It can help putting a face to the person who's done it. Brilliant. A can of WD-40.
Oh, no.
Again, why? A mop and bucket.
Well, unless somebody specifically asks for it, because it may well be someone like the half a cider lamb. If somebody is in a situation where they've just moved house and it is practical and it's something that they really need, fine. But if it was, I think I'll get them a mop.
For no apparent reason. It's really weird. I remember many, many years ago now, whenever this subject comes up, I always bring this one up because I think it's hilarious. My dad's father, so my grandfather, bought his wife a flip-top bin.
Oh,
Sheila.
I think that's really sweet.
It's so romantic,
It's a bin.
It's the thought that counts.
But it has
a really?
top.
Yeah.
Is there any thought?
Yes.
I got some socks for my birthday, and they were. It was one of the best gifts I got because we really need socks here.
Exactly.
With the cold floors.
Exactly.
And you can never have too many pairs of socks in Spain.
No. I don't. There's nothing wrong with socks at all.
Nothing.
Vacuum cleaner bags, however.
It's just getting stupid now.
Even I
It is serious.
I remember one story though, years and years ago. It wasn't involving me. Can I just say nothing? It was a friend. It was a friend. That there was someone who got some underwear for Christmas, and they didn't want it, so they took it back to Marks and Sparks, and it was in the days when you could go without a receipt, and they would just change it. And they went to customer services with this underwear, and they said they hadn't sold it for 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Can you imagine getting a present that's obviously regifting? Yeah, regifting underwear. Well, I think they were new, but
this is one thing they talk about in the article, regifting, and obviously the main thing that you have to be careful with regifting is not to regift it to some person.
You've got to have a good memory.
That's what they say about here, opening a present and you're like, yeah, I gave that to you for your last birthday.
Or putting things into a raffle. I'm always saying, who's going to be at the raffle? If they've given me something. Yeah.
Yes, that happened to me at the weekend.
Really?
And me.
What happened?
I'll tell you after the break.
Talk Radio Europe.
Head to Oak Firehouse and Cocktail every Thursday to be entertained by the Piano Man Experience. Enjoy the sounds of local legend Paul Maxwell from 10 p.m. as he performs at this magical, intimate quality steakhouse, located just next door to the lively La Sala Puerto Banús. Live music, the finest grilled meats, selection of premium wines, and a cocktail list to die for. Your Oak experience guarantees to be a night to remember. Call now to book on 951 319 411 or make your reservation online at oakmarbella.com.
Want to move to Spain but concerned about the tax implications? With specialist advice, Spanish taxation may be much lower than you expect. Want to learn more? Talk to the people who know. Blevins Franks. We have been providing positive wealth management solutions for expatriates in Spain for 45 years. Visit blevinsfranks.com to contact your local advisors.
China Home, the one-stop destination for everything for your home and garden with ample parking. Our 3,000 square metre store is full of stock, from kitchenware, curtains and cushions, indoor and outdoor furniture, fashion and so much more. Enjoy your home inside and out with a 10% discount off your next purchase at China Home, A7 Kilometre 166, Calle Seneca No. 2, Urbanisation Costalita, or at Centro Comercial Arroyo en Medio, Estepona. China Home, we are looking out for you.
Thank you for listening to Talk Radio Europe.
Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Women Talk with me in the studio today, Katie Rowland, Sheila Mellor and Debbie Bennett. There's an article here about getting pickled this Christmas, but it's talking specifically about pickle water. So pickle juice, basically. So when you buy a jar of pickles, it's the water that the pickle comes in. So to make your own pickle juice, it would be water, vinegar, sugar and salt. And apparently this is the in thing to add to cocktails, pickle water.
Why? I'm just going to say why.
Amazing.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love anything pickled.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think I've really tried a pickle in many years.
Oh, I love a pickle. I wouldn't drink the water though.
Oh, no way.
I feel like I haven't been old enough to try a pickle. Now I'm 30. I think the last time I tried a pickle was at an 11-year-old's birthday party. I think now I'm 30, I should dive into trying pickles.
Not even pickled onions.
No, I think I've just written it off as something I wouldn't enjoy.
Something that older people do.
Yes.
But I like all things fermented as well, you see.
Really?
Yeah.
So what would you add pickle water? Gin?
Yeah, when I read that I thought I'm going to try it.
Gin and pickle water. And tonic as well? Or just gin and pickle water?
You have to try it first and then decide.
Wow, you've got to check who you're with though, because you're going to stink off. Seriously.
They don't want to take me as I am.
I mean, seriously, but if that had pickled onions in, yes, I know, but the smell.
Really? I've never noticed. On the breath? We eat pickled onions.
Well, have I got news for you? I've been meaning to say it.
Oh, please do.
No, it's
you know the reason I keep giving you mint.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, but if you have pickled stuff, it really does smell.
Really?
Yeah, when you're talking to someone.
Nice.
No, not when you're talking.
Breath.
No, exactly.
I only notice garlic smells on breath, which is horrendous.
Oh, I know, and so is pickles. I'm telling you, if she starts hitting the gin with some pickled juice in it, we'll know.
I think it's probably a matter of an opinion. My friend said she loved garlic breath on other people.
Your friend,
the goat.
My friend is Greek, so maybe there's lots of garlic in Greek.
Oh, that's all right then.
I quite like the smell of garlic on people.
What is happening? I feel like we're in a parallel universe.
Where are we, Debbie?
Beam me up, Scotty.
How can you?
I think because I love it so much, I don't eat so much of it. It's like
wow, second hand.
I nearly put it in my gin, not quite.
There's no room. There's a pickled onion in there.
I I remember being, before I could drive, and I used to do a lot more buses. I remember being on buses and the overwhelming smell of garlic. And,
on you?
No, not on me.
Generally,
on other people, just generally, and it like made me feel quite sick. I mean, I was really struggling, thinking I can't breathe through my nose, so I was trying to just only breathe through my mouth, but I felt like the smell was still kind of coming through my. Can you smell through your mouth? I don't know. I was feeling like I
taste though. You can taste.
I've had a poor sense of smell my whole life, so I'm quite lucky I don't have to experience really intense smells.
Oh, eat away then. Let's take another break.
TRE. Saving on your insurance is quick with Linea Directa.
When you say quick, how quick?
In a jiffy, my dear.
What, like at warp speed?
Before you can say Jack Robinson.
Oh, grease lightning.
Talking of which, how's that Morris Minor of yours?
Switch and save on your insurance with Linea Directa. Maybe that's why 9 out of 10 satisfied customers recommend us. Call 919-181-130. That's 919-181-130 and get the best price for car, bike and home insurance. Conditions apply.
You can find more information about the artist of this painting in the guidebook. Now let's move on to the next one.
Come on, Michael. Stop moving closer and further away from the painting. We're getting separated from the rest of the group.
Just a sec. With these glasses, I can't see what the description says.
Look, we've talked about this. Either you go to Specsavers to get some varifocal glasses, or I'm not travelling with you anymore.
Do you need varifocals? At Specsavers Opticas, you can now get 50% off varifocals with glasses from €89. Visit Specsavers Opticas in Marbella or Fuengirola or online at specsavers.es.
Do you know about mattressology? At Mikolchon Sofas and Beds, we are experts in the most personalized and healthy rest tailored to your back pain. At Mikolchon, we have developed mattresses specially designed for each ailment, featuring our exclusive Nessun brand, a sales leader in Spain. And we are so confident in our advice that we offer up to 15 years of warranty and 202 trial nights. And now, when you purchase your Nessun mattress, enjoy our double discounts on hundreds of products. We look forward to welcoming you at Mikolchon Sofas and Beds and on mikolchon.com.
TRE, your voice in Spain.
Hannah Murray. TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is, it sounds like this is the news. It sounded very serious. You're listening to Women Talk, and with me in the studio today, Katie Rowland, Sheila Mellor and Debbie Bennett. There's an article that sort of made me smile. We all have a weakness for food delivery apps, do we? And ready meals, do we? But as Susanna Jowett found, with a diet of stews and puddings, you can halve your grocery bill by cooking like Granny. And she gives some examples of some interesting dishes that some sound lovely, some sound Grandpa's scary mushrooms on toast made me chuckle as a thing. Is that a thing?
Well, I don't even know this Grandpa. Who is it?
No, I just assumed it was like a well-known thing.
Mushroom on toast?
No, but so many of them, like
mushrooms on toast.
I guess so. There's Granny's Irish stew, Granny's eggeroni cheese. What's eggeroni cheese?
I don't know.
Eggeroni. Sounds like macaroni, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But with
so
eggs.
maybe it's macaroni.
With eggs.
Yeah, macaroni cheese with eggs. Does egg and cheese go together like that?
Eggs and cheese, yeah.
Okay.
You call it egg mornay, though, isn't it? If you have eggs in cheese sauce.
Ah, yeah, nice. Then it's things like French onion soup, love.
Nice.
Cheese pudding, yeah. Gammon knuckle.
Knuckle?
And knuckle, yeah.
What does that mean?
The end bit.
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, it's got lots of fat around it, but the meat underneath is really juicy.
Ooh, as a crackling level, I think I like that.
Yeah, she'd like.
Oh, sucking the bone.
Oh, there we go again. Lower the tone.
Stuck in the bone with your burnt knuckle. Pig's tongue a la ravigote.
Huh?
What's that when it's at home? Well, apart from the tongue.
Sounds like I'm a celebrity, that doesn't it?
Doesn't it? I wouldn't go for a tongue. You're like this, Sheila. Lamb's kidneys on toast.
Oh no!
Oh, she likes her awful.
I know.
Oh, you are awful.
I'm so awful.
Then it's got kedgeree, things like that.
Nice.
So it's oxtail stew, eggy bread in beef dripping. So it's a kind of mixture of sort of wholesome food, I guess you could.
I like it at winter time, as we're getting into cold weather. I do like comfort food at this time of year. So, and they are things that I had as a kid. So I love having toad in the hole.
Right.
You know, and it's real winter warmer, really, and it's absolutely lovely. And just say to Peter, macaroni cheese, yeah, fabulous. You know, it's just nice to have that sort of stuff. But we don't do takeaways.
No. Ever?
Well,
once in a blue moon.
Yeah, and it would be maybe the noodle place, but we're not big into takeaways. It's just, I don't think we are here in Spain, are we?
No, I don't think we are.
Not compared to the UK, when you see these adverts and there's someone getting, you know, McDonald's, KFC, or whatever they are, and we don't do that. You know, I wouldn't.
We went through a phase. I can't remember when it was. It was a good few years ago, but we went through a phase of doing it every Sunday. We would have, we'd have Indian takeaway every Sunday. I mean, not for long, only for, I don't know, a few months or something. Maybe we kept it up, but we just went through a phase where it was just our thing on a Sunday, which was nice.
There was one app I used called Too Good To Go, which is where you can get slightly going off food before it's on the turn, but I got really poorly once doing that.
Oh no.
So you've got to sort of check your places, because if you're going to get tapas like stuff, it might have been hanging on the countertop for hours and hours and hours.
Days.
So I got a bit put off by that. But you can get really good Too Good To Go boxes where you pay €5 and you get loads of produce depending on the day.
You can get fruit and vegetables. You can get they do have bakeries on there, so you can get baked goods, croissants and things like that they have to throw out. But they're still all right to eat.
Marbella ones seem much better than, say, Estepona or La Leña ones. So I think it's dependent on the area. You can get some quite good goods.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
I thought it was interesting in the article the way that she had recipes for every day, because when I was a child, that's just the way we lived. I mean, you knew what day it was because of what you were eating for dinner.
Really? So you had the same thing every week?
Every week, and it never varied.
Did you enjoy that?
I suppose it was just normal.
Yeah.
So
what was your Monday dish? Can you remember?
Yes, it was shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
And Friday it was the chippy. That's the only time we ever had anything that wasn't homemade by Mum.
Yeah.
We used to have on a Saturday, because my mum worked, and Dad would bring back the shopping. Mum would do it in her lunch break, and then Dad would bring it back and we'd unpack it, and Dad would cook, and my dad's a terrible cook, really. So we had the Vesta packet curry and rice, and that was, I guess, our takeaway. So, and it was foul. It was absolutely foul.
That's probably why you're not bothered about the takeaway now.
But it was all part of it every Saturday. Comics, sweets, whatever in the morning, and it's the Vesta curry and rice cooked by Dad. Terrible.
As was salmon on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Tinned salmon with vinegar.
Oh, nice.
Really?
We had that on a Sunday tea. Yeah. Tinned fruit.
We never did anything like that. We never had any regular meal days ever. Didn't have Sunday roast growing up either.
Oh, we
never had any days where it was the same kind of thing.
We always had lamb for Sunday lunch, and me and my brother used to fight over the bones.
Really? How funny.
You're bringing up bones again.
I know, sorry. I'm such a carnivore. And the vegans listening, I'm sorry.
So, moving on to something completely different. How hard is it to wake up in the morning? We talked about this a few weeks ago, so apologies if you've already done this. It's just an interesting article talking about how you wake up in the morning, whether you kind of smash your alarm, do you keep hitting snooze, what kind of a morning person? Did we talk about this before?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm a morning person, so it doesn't bother me.
So when you set your alarm, you're up straight away?
Well, generally, Peter likes to, he lies about the time. So he will set it. I'll say, can you set it at 7 or whatever? And if you're listening, Peter, and I know you are, you know I'm not lying. So he would say, I'd say set it for 7. His 7 would be, for me, it's going to be before 7. And I feel cheated. So I'm saying, I will ask him to snooze it once, because I know that means it's 7.
Wow.
But with him, he could keep on snooze.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Peter's got to stay in bed. Yeah. He's a night person. I'm
ever use an alarm.
Really?
Ever. No. Even when I worked, I woke up.
Oh, really?
I used to have the kind of brain that said, if I had an early meeting, say 6:30, I'd say I need to wake up at 5:30, and I'd wake up.
Wow, that's amazing.
Or if I could have a little snooze in, I'd say I need to wake up at 6, and I'd wake.
That's incredible. So it wasn't necessarily the same time each month. So you literally told your brain, and that's what would.
If I was catching a flight, I'd tell myself what time to wake up, but I would put an alarm on just in case. But I always woke up.
Wow.
And since I'm retired, I don't have to get up now.
No.
So
and did you sleep quite well?
But I never use clocks, you see. I don't have a clock. I don't own a clock. I've never had a clock in my house. I don't like ticking.
And did you sleep well when you used to wake up at a certain time?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm completely different. I'm a night owl, and I used to find it so difficult to get up in the morning in Britain, but I'm much better in Spain. But I've changed up my routine, and I make it quite exciting because I like variety throughout the day. So the first thing I do is I have an automated light that turns on 10 minutes before my alarm goes off, so my body is already woken up before my mind's woken up, and then I'm ready for the day. Because when I used to be in the UK and used to have probably more of a stressful job, I used to wake up in a state of alarm, in a fight or flight sort of way, and now I wake up quite naturally because I've got the light, and then I've got the sound next, which is brilliant. And I also do other odd things to wake me up in the morning, like I've got an aerial yoga swing, so I'll go upside down for at least 30 seconds. And a few months ago, I used to go for a dip in the paddling pool to wake up my body. That's a big trend at the moment on social media, is going for a cold water dip.
Water, yeah.
And
not just paddling.
If I can't be bothered with a whole body submersion, I would submerge my face in ice water. And apparently that almost has just as much benefits.
Really?
Yes, but I think because I've got quite a chaotic brain, I needed to do intense, fun things like that to calm myself down, ready for the day. And I'm very calm and happy in the morning after doing all those things.
And so how does it feel to put your face in iced water?
I can't think of the word in English. What's the word?
Invigorating.
Invigorating, thank you.
Okay, so you just kind of go, ah!
Yes, it's supposed to be good for your skin and your energy, and then you're supposed to have those endorphins for the next couple of hours throughout the day as well.
I might try that.
Wim Hof.
Yeah, it's the thing, isn't it? I might try it. I've thought about early morning swimming before. Thought about it quite a few times.
I've done that once.
Yeah, in the sea?
Yes, with my sister. But I was too busy upside down on my aerial yoga swing. And we almost missed the sunrise, so she said, hurry up, we're going to miss it, it's in 4 minutes. But we got to the sea just in time.
And you went in?
Yes.
Was it all right?
Yes, and then I went to work 20 minutes later.
Gosh.
Covered in salt water.
Oh, yeah. My grandchildren have those lights. They're supposed to be really good. Yeah,
yes.
That makes them up very gradually.
Yes, and then I put them on red at night, I think, which then slows you down and makes you feel a bit calmer at night as well, rather than the blue light, which is for the morning.
Yeah. You need to be careful, though, if people buy the walking past red light in your bedroom. Not a good look.
We've got enough of those up and down the coast, haven't we?
Right, this I thought was an interesting one to talk about hair. A 46-year-old Indian woman earned a world record when her tremendous tresses were measured at 7 feet and 9 inches long. Smita of Andhra Pradesh, who was awarded the Guinness World Records title for longest hair on a living person, hasn't had a haircut since she was 14.
Get it cut, love, I say, get it cut. Really.
Imagine brushing. I mean, how would you look after it? Washing it, brushing it.
I don't think you do, though, do you? You can't. I mean,
that's unless that's her life. Shoulder length.
Yeah, what you mean? She lives for her hair.
Perhaps I'm the complete opposite. I'm lucky if I brush my hair on a daily basis. Once it gets beyond a certain length, I think it needs cutting off for me. But I suppose if you're a very well-maintained person, that might work quite well.
I don't think.
I mean, there's long and there's long.
Yeah, that's. I mean, not having it cut since you were 14, and she's how old now?
46.
And how long is it?
7 foot 9 inches.
7 foot? No, that's ridiculous.
How tall is she? She's probably.
Her hair will be longer than she is. Taller.
I wonder how she puts it up.
Well, she's not dragging it down.
Well, I don't know. I need to see pictures of this. What is she going to do? I mean,
take her,
you can't put it all in a hairband, can you? I mean, it's not going to,
wouldn't it?
Surely it would give you headaches as well because it's constantly
so heavy.
How would you curl it?
I don't think that's on her list.
Imagine curling. You
could only curl the bottom.
You'd have to reach to the bottom. You'd have to, it would just be I can't think of one good reason.
No, I can't.
No, it's just get it cut. Get it cut.
Was it religion?
No, she said in Indian culture, goddesses traditionally had very long hair. Long hair enhances the beauty of women.
Oh, no. I mean, I like long hair.
Yeah.
But there's long, and that's ridiculous.
There's long and
just
stupid.
Get it cut.
Yes.
Sort it out.
Have any of you been watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
No.
Not really, just clips on TikTok, so I can't really contribute much to this discussion, sorry.
Okay, we'll take a break then.
TRE, Talk Radio Europe.
Being an author can be frustrating.
There is a part of me which thinks, oh my goodness, it took me a whole year to produce that and they read it in one day.
It takes a lot of time and effort to create a gripping story.
Reviewers simply say, oh, the Francis books, they're just easy reading. But let me tell you, I work very hard to make them easy reading.
There are still no guarantees it'll do well, of course.
I have a foundation of being good at what I do, but dear God, everything hinges on luck.
Join me, Hannah Murray, on The Book Show to hear more authors talking about their journey. Thursdays from 7 p.m, repeated on Saturdays from 8 p.m, here on Talk Radio Europe.
Have you enjoyed the process of writing this book?
Been a bit of a nightmare, to be honest.
At the Puente Romano Beach Resort, the grand finale of the festivals arrives on the most splendid night of the year. This New Year's Eve, let La Plaza take centre stage with a variety of bars and restaurants and the most amazing festive decor and party atmosphere. For those seeking a truly grand celebration, Puente Romano Beach Resort will also play host to an opulent gala party at the Salon Andalucia with canapes, a sumptuous gala dinner, lucky grapes and champagne, all accompanied with live entertainment and dancing till the early hours. Information for New Year's Eve can be found at puenteromano.com. To book, email events@puenteromano.com or call 952-820-900.
Have you heard an advertisement on TRE but missed the all-important contact details? Looking for a reputable insurance company, financial advisor or health professional? Or maybe you're in business and want to get your name known amongst the expatriate community? Then check out The Marketplace, the online business directory on www.tre.radio. You'll find contact details for a whole host of businesses and services, and you can add your own listing for a very small annual fee. Why The Marketplace? Because we promote it to our listeners every single day. The Marketplace at tre.radio.
TRE, Talk Radio Europe.
Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the last part of Women Talk. With me in the studio today, Katie Rowland, Sheila Mellor and Debbie Bennett. There is I've got a couple of things here from a, what they called, Agony Aunt problem page thing, which I thought we could have a laugh about. I don't mean that, obviously. Have a discussion about and give some valuable advice. So this one, how can I compromise with a friend who thinks I text her too much? I'll read the next bit. I am a man in my mid-30s. I have a younger female friend, Emma, who is an introvert. There's no romantic interest between us, just a great friendship. The problem is that I'm more of an extrovert than she is. Recently, we've hit a rough patch. She believes that I text her too much. I'm not trying to annoy her. I just want to talk to her. I want to keep her in my life because she is a great friend. I don't want to overwhelm her, but I don't want to feel like I'm forgotten.
Two things there. You mentioned great friend twice. I don't think they've got a great friendship, because otherwise they'd understand what each other's needs are. That one has a need for this and the other one has a different need. So
very well put.
And if he's such a good friend, listen to what she's saying. Don't text me.
Exactly.
And also, I don't think you can depend on one person for all your needs. It sounds like he's depending on her a bit too much.
Very needy, it sounds like.
And it should be quite obvious if you get a bit annoying to a friend.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before, and I've just backed off a bit.
Yeah,
and
she's sending messages and they're not replying.
Exactly. And shared my annoyance between more people rather than just focusing on one person.
I'll message someone else then.
Yeah. One of my friends told me the other day that her friend was texting her too much, and what could she do about it? And I thought, well, I don't know how you've let it get to that stage. And it wasn't just texting, it was hour-long phone calls every single day.
Yeah. Wow.
And I said to my friend, I don't know how you've let it get to that stage, because with my friends, I barely speak to them on a daily basis. But then when I see them, it's normal. It's almost nicer to be in person than constantly texting all the time. We've all got so many messages and emails to deal with in modern day. It becomes a nuisance having to text back and forth forth every day with someone. So I think you need to reel it back in a bit.
Yeah,
exactly. And think about, he's got needs, but she has needs too, and they need to give each other space.
Yeah, not just about him.
No, exactly.
Should I give in to my mother-in-law's insistence that I stop wearing bright colours? My mother-in-law is very concerned that my love of bright colours and patterns conveys lower class standards to her uppity family. My grandma taught me to dress as I want, so I wore comfortable, original and designer clothing by my favourite makers. My mother-in-law tried to exclude me from any family photos because I didn't meet her dress code. Can you imagine?
I say put bright orange, lime green, purple and turn up.
Yeah.
I'd just go the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love bright
family
colours.
occasion. Or I might put a black coat on so she includes me and then drop it.
Yeah.
Take it off.
And then you'd have your little bikini underneath with tassels.
Yeah, exactly.
I absolutely love bright colours. I sometimes look at people and I think, why are you wearing black every day, all day? You're not wearing completely black. I mean, there's some people who would just wear black non-stop, and I just think that's a bit boring. Shake it up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love
Yeah, the mother-in-law needs to shake it up. That's
Yes.
what we're saying.
She needs some colour in
She
her
needs
life.
colour, exactly.
Definitely.
Buy some watercolours.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one, talking about funerals. Death may be a certainty of life, but growing numbers of Britons are abandoning its long-held rites and practices, including funerals. In fact, less than half want a funeral, according to a survey that found the traditions of death are seen as expensive, time-consuming and irrelevant.
Right, I've kind of got a mixed view about this, because I do think that we go over the top at funerals, and it is lovely to celebrate somebody's life, but very often the funeral's at a time when you're in such grief you can't really, even kind of experience it, because you're like in a daze because of what's happened to you, and all your senses have shut down. So I kind of think it'd be nicer to have like a memorial, like 12 months.
12 years when no one else is around.
12 months later. But I recently watched a film where somebody had been diagnosed as dying and only had a very short amount of time to live, and she decided that she wanted her memorial before she died.
I love
that was a great
lovely.
idea.
Yeah.
So she could hear all the beautiful things that people were saying about her, and some of the horrible ones, like Debbie.
I love that.
I love that idea. I thought it was great, but maybe that's because I'm a bit.
I think it depends on the funeral. I have to say, I've been to some. To be careful how I say now, but I've been to some very, very religious funerals. Some of whom the person who passed over was very religious, so therefore it made sense that their funeral was religious, but some of them the person wasn't religious at all. But either way, I've been to some funerals that the person who's died was barely even mentioned, and the whole funeral was all about Jesus, basically.
Yeah.
It was completely centred around religion and didn't talk about the person who'd passed over at all. And I found that really, really sad and a shame. You know, one person particularly springs to mind, and you know, the church was full. There were so many people there that really wanted to kind of pay tribute to them. And I was really looking forward to, you know, hoping to meet members of their family and maybe hear funny stories about them growing up and their life. And I was really, because a lot of the funerals that I've been to with my family and everything absolutely are about that, you know, celebrating the person and talking about their life, a proper family eulogy. And there was none of that at all, and I left learning no more about the person at all, and just kind of thinking, well, what was that all about?
I think it's a personal thing. I think what you want, you know, if you can get, fantastic. But me personally, I feel that it's the last thing that we can do to celebrate and somebody's life, or, you know, immediately, or as you say, 12 years later. I think it's also really important when you go to a funeral and to deal with your emotions, and you're sharing emotions about this sense of loss, you're all together. I find it really important.
Part of the grieving process.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so, for me, really necessary. Yes, it doesn't have to be the most expensive coffin.
No.
Yeah, you can save money these days on something that's biodegradable or whatever. There are ways. It doesn't have to be about the pomp and flowers and stuff. But what I do want to do is, as you said, is actually honour the person, share the grief, share the stories, and share the love. Really. And say that they mattered. That's the important thing. That
definitely.
they mattered. Yeah.
I do quite like your idea that person went before they died. That's quite an interesting take on it, isn't it? I actually read a newspaper article yesterday about a funeral crasher who'd go and crash.
I've interviewed him.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, years ago. He's hilarious. An American guy.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, you tell the story.
No, you probably know more about it than me. He goes in and he sends messages from the deceased, but they're normally negative messages to the guests saying, you need to get lost because you're not invited here. That's the one I read about.
You still owe her money and stuff like that. Like he goes in, or I mean, even worse than that, like he'll go in and he'll say, he'll like burst into the funeral and say, you know, about the man who's died. He'll say, actually, you know, or the grieving widow, the wife is standing there, and he'll say, you know what, he was gay. Really horrendous. I mean, he's like a truth teller. But the person before, it sounds funny, but it's not, is it?
It's terrible.
It is terrible, but it's at request of the person who's dying. Like they contact him and say, at my funeral, I want you to do this.
Okay, I get that now. I'm just thinking there's this random person who just goes round, causing,
and he gets paid obviously before the person dies.
So it's an entertainment from the grave.
It's probably quite a high price tag as well, isn't it?
I imagine. I mean, he has some balls, dare I say it. I can't imagine. I mean, that would be horrendous.
That's amazing. You've interviewed him. Lots of synchronicities today.
He's quite a hoot, as you can imagine. But it's
I don't think it's something I would endorse.
No, I'd feel really uncomfortable. No. Absolutely. Yes, I was going to say I love a funeral. That sounds weird, but no, I have. I remember when we did my grandma's funeral. It was quite small. There weren't lots of people there, which was a shame. And I remember lots of family members came up to us and felt sort of quite uncomfortable on saying the words. Please don't take this the wrong way, but that was the most beautiful funeral I've ever been. You know, people thought it was amazing. You know, I think people were used to going to maybe more religious or conservative formal funerals, and the ones we've done in our family have always been a lot kind of brighter and more celebratory and you know, lots of colour and nice songs and things like that, which is lovely. You know, when it's such an emotional day and there's a lot of tears and emotion, how lovely that there can be lots of smiles and laughter as well. I think that's really special.
Absolutely, to make it all about them.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, on to, where are we doing? Just under 10 minutes. Something which is an interesting one, talking about having so the headline reads, why having a baby at 51 was far easier than being a mum at 21.
Wow.
So this is talking about the idea of being an older mother.
Come back when she's 71, when the child's 20. She's trying to do, or even 16 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't imagine doing it the other way around.
No.
How old were you? Do you mind?
24.
24.
Okay. It was hard enough.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though, like now, if it was 50, and then
having a child at 20,
and then taking them to school, and everyone's going to think that your mum is your gran.
Yeah,
that's really hard on the child. I mean,
but people are having babies a lot later.
Yeah,
a lot later,
and also 50's a lot younger now.
Yeah,
than it was 50 years ago.
Absolutely,
because of life expectancy and things like that. I'd love to have children one day, and I see myself maybe being a slightly older mum because I'm 30 and nowhere near on the road to having a baby yet, but it's difficult, isn't it? Because will you have the energy to look after a child at that age?
The thing is, I think she was saying, wasn't she, that she had one at 21, and I think physically she was saying it was easier at 51. She got back into her size 8 jeans like 3 days later when she was 51.
Amazing.
That is
she
incredible.
Went straight into menopause. Immediately.
Wow. I suppose you're more mature. You're more mature at 51, so you've probably got a better idea on how to look after a child.
I think it's because she's got a built-in babysitter, a 21-year-old. I think that's what's made it easier. She has the baby, passes it over to the 21-year-old and says, get on with it.
Yeah. I think there's definite pros and cons of both ways. And there's a real argument for doing it when you're younger, so therefore, you know, when you're older, your kids have grown up and you're free to live your life how you want. And then there's an argument for doing it the other way. Obviously, you know, maybe having more of a career for a longer time, gaining more kind of life experience, whatever, and then doing it older when you're more kind of settled both individually and with the right person perhaps. But yeah, there's no right way, is there? It's whatever works for you for whatever reason.
I think it was a woman in Africa who I read today that she was 70 and gave birth.
Oh, come on.
I know, that's not on, is it?
That's selfish.
Yeah. 70.
How did she manage it?
I don't know. I just caught the headline stuff. 70.
Oh my gosh. I think that's really selfish, isn't it?
That might be false news.
I can't validate. I don't know the woman.
Doesn't sound like it's possible, does it?
No, because she should be with menopause.
Exactly.
I would have thought so. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, there's always freaks in it.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. Right, we have 4 minutes left, and I'm referring to things that millennials refuse to buy. Because there's a whole massive list here which I refer to every
I'm a millennial, just
over
to let you know.
We're dependent on you to see if this is true.
Okay, so
first
this is
one, pork scratching.
Yes.
No more I do's and kissing the bride. You may now kiss the bride used to be a sacred phrase that a couple waited to hear from the moment they fell in love. Research reveals that younger Americans are deciding that they don't need to tie the knot. Either that or they're waiting until way later in life. So this is just about getting married, basically, less bothered about getting married.
I think people in general in my generation seem to be having babies before they're getting married. That's just a pattern I've noticed.
Yeah.
A lot of people from school are more likely to have it that way round.
Wow. I think that's great. Why not?
No.
But are they doing that intending to get married? Or
I think so, yes.
Okay. They're choosing to do it in that order?
Yes, but I also think COVID's put a stop on lots of things because people wanted to have children and they wanted to get married, and lots of people had those weird lockdown weddings, didn't they, where you had to have a COVID test before you went to the wedding, and if you had COVID you couldn't go.
That's horrible.
So I think some people wanted to get married, but they didn't want to get married during the period of COVID, which lasted many years, so they had the baby first, and now they're getting married a bit later down the line.
So it's not that they don't want to get married or they have negative feelings about the marriage. It's actually just...
I'm not sure exactly, because some of these are just sort of distant friends. I don't actually know their exact reasons for not getting married before having children.
My son and daughter-in-law didn't get married, and they had Theo, and then they had no intention of marrying. They didn't think they needed to because they loved each other and were going to stay together anyway. But then they got a contract to go and work abroad, and they could only go abroad if they were married. So,
oh wow!
So that's the reason they got married.
Okay.
And told me the day that I arrived, the day that I arrived to go and see them. Oh, by the way, I want you to be a witness. There I was in my jeans and my lemons.
Oh
no! Bizarre. I'll have to tell you that story.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I always wanted to get married. I think I can't remember going through a period where I thinking that I didn't, because that can be a normal thing, can't I? Oh, don't want to get married, and yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I always hoped that one day I would, but for me it was late. I was 37 when I got married.
I was quite late getting married, but I was in the camp that I'm not bothered. I was really not bothered about getting married. In fact, very much on the I'm not getting married.
Really?
Yeah. And my mum actually did say, I never thought you would get married. And I said, not because I haven't been asked. She said, no.
Yeah, I don't know why. to be honest, probably to do with popular culture and seeing in films and TV shows and that whole kind of fairy tale thing and thinking, I want
Did you
all
have
that.
a book then? Did you have a wedding?
No, I wasn't like that. Wasn't that bad. It wasn't like Monica and Friends and had the whole big
the album out.
With all exactly. No, but no, I waited long enough for the right person. So the right time, right person.
Yeah.
We're kind of coming towards the end of the show, so I shall leave it there before moving on to reclining chairs, which isn't exactly that exciting. So thank you all very much for coming in today. Thank you to Katie, Sheila and Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely weekend. I know it's only Thursday, but it's weekend for me because I don't work Fridays. Woohoo! But Howard Brereton is up next. He'll be with you just after the international news at the top of the hour with Spain Today. So don't go away. And I will be back with you on Monday at 4:00. Have a great weekend. It's not due to rain, fingers crossed, so try and stay dry.
Online, on mobile, on the TRE app, your smart speaker and on air. This is TRE, Talk Radio Europe. Your voice in Spain and around the world.
From the Sky News Centre at 5, the Pogues frontman Shane MacGowan has died. He was 65. He'd been receiving treatment